right, we are back.
Week 2. This is still a thing that's happening.
I mean, you can't call us quitters.
Not yet. No.
Not ever.
Okay, fine. Not ever. Fine.
Even if we're the last ones standing and nobody else is listening, we'll still be here.
And given the state of the nation, that could be a thing that happens.
Oh, God.
This has been the most terrifying week ever. Every single day, I've woken up to the worst news. Not to get this into a political thing, but what the fuck?
This country has become a what the fuck country.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to hashtag what the fuck for everything.
Right? It's terrifying. But all we can do is our best.
Yeah. Have you seen the funny memes coming out and the
Oh yeah, well, like the bad lip read for the inauguration. Hello, it got video gamey when Hillary Clinton was saying Hadouken in your face. It's so good.
Hadouken in your face. Oh my God, that was so good.
Yeah.
Witty bitches.
I love them.
So, anything going on in your life?
No. I mean, just work, and
trying to survive
and being terrified of the political climate.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've kind of become stone cold when it comes to the politics right now because I'm like, okay, I know as bad as it can get. Well, hopefully it doesn't get like that, but at least I'm prepared for it. So hopefully it'll be much better. You know, You always expect the worst and get the best.
Yeah. So yeah, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Just
that's
we just gotta be ready.
Yeah, well, I actually personally had an interesting experience on a date I went on because I told you I went back on OkCupid.
Yes, well, and I saw your Instagram stories on this one, so I definitely was looking forward to hearing more here.
Yeah, it was, okay, so on OkCupid, obviously people are putting their best pictures forward.
Like you do.
Because that's, you want people to think you're hot. Not saying that he was a complete catfish, but when I got to the Wellsbourne, which is this really cute bar on Pico near Culver City.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we went, yeah.
Yeah, when
way back.
Someone got wasted for her birthday.
Yes. So I get there, and he's already drinking at the bar, and didn't even ask me if I wanted a drink. That I can't stand. Like, if whoever gets there first, they just ask the other person, oh, what do you want to drink? So it's sitting there when you get there.
That'd be nice.
Fine, whatever. He has no manners. But then the whole time, he literally talks about himself and how great he is.
How great was he? Was he actually great? Or
well...
No? I mean, I'm just curious. Like, did he live up to his words?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know him that well, obviously, and I don't plan to because every other question out of his mouth was about what's between my legs. He was just a very curious person. And he's dated, apparently, trans people before, so I was like, what is this about? Like,
I mean, do you think it's a thing where, like, he is just very focused because it's like do you think like for him it's like a thing that's fetishized or what, or is he just like...
what he said, he asks because he knows, especially when you're dating a trans person, you kind of want to know what each other enjoys sexually, so you know if you're compatible to begin with. But I mean, for me, I'm compatible no matter what, as long as you like mentally stimulate me.
Mm-hmm. But instead he was an uncouth dickhead from the get-go.
Right. So that didn't work out. Anyway, he cut the whole conversation short and was like, right, I gotta take the bus home, so I'll see ya. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I was happy that he, cut it short.
Well, yeah, it's great that you actually had an easy out there since he was just, done, I guess.
Yeah, but he messaged me the next morning.
Who follows up on that?
Why? What is the point?
Yeah, who follows up on something like that?
This ain't going nowhere. So that was that.
What would the message the next day say?
Good morning. With a coffee cup, a little emoticon coffee
cup.
Yeah,
let's just...
Or emojicon or emoji.
Yeah, let's just blow right through that as if, like, last night didn't happen.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. So welcome to dating in LA. Another thing that happened this week was I was playing Uncharted 4, and I don't know if you played multiplayer.
I have not actually put much into Uncharted 4's multiplayer,
Oh,
although
it's the best.
I've done a ton of 2 and 3.
This one's good because you get like special abilities. You get companions who help and fight for you, and like special powers and things like that. Anyhow, so you have to save up so many points on relics. They're like basically points you use in their store to buy
all the sort of
vanity items and guns and things like that.
And a lot of like the MacGuffins and stuff from the relics are things you should pick up off the ground, not the special powers, right? Are those the powers like the Chinamani stone and stuff?
Those are the powers. I don't know exactly how you get the relics. I don't know if it's based on the treasures you pick up.
Oh, okay.
Or if it's just on like how many points you score per round.
Okay.
Or your performance in the round. But anyhow, so 2,500 relics gets you a DLC gun vanity chest. It takes a long fucking time to get 2,500 points. I mean, I'm not the best player, but I'm no slouch.
Yeah.
And so I get this chest finally, and I'm streaming it. So the people who've been watching me are like, oh, finally we get to see what this, she gets in the chest. And it was literally like an accuracy power up for your radar. After all that, I was hoping for this damn gun that everybody uses to kill me with, because I'm not going to buy it because I already bought the game. So why would I buy extra things?
Yeah, certain microtransactions. Oh,
I was so upset. And usually when I get upset, I just scream at the fucking game. But I just put my head down in defeat and said, okay, I'm gone for tonight.
Yeah, I'm just wrapping it up.
Oh, Uncharted 4, you did me wrong. And you never do me wrong. So from now on, just vanity chests, because I just want my characters to look good from now on. I don't care about the fucking guns.
You have some bad luck this week.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Boo.
So what are you playing?
It's weird. I have such a weird relationship with survival horror games in general. I tend to get really excited about them.
Yeah.
And then I buy them at full price, usually on day one or close to it. And then I play them for about an hour, get to the first like save point, sort of get in the mindset of like, oh, sweet, I can breathe, I can stop. This is a good stopping point. I'll come back tomorrow. And then I never come back.
Don't get back into it.
Ever. And so based on like the glowing reviews that it was getting, I grabbed Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. And
is that what it's called, Biohazard?
Yeah, that's the subtitle on it, which is funny since Biohazard, of course, is the title for Resident Evil in, I think, every other country. Or maybe it's just Japan, but it's called Biohazard there instead of Resident Evil.
Huh, I didn't know that.
And so, yeah, so I'm playing that now. And it is like, I don't want to gush too much about it because I've only played maybe about 3 hours worth, but I saw like hour and a half on night one and hour and a half, 2 hours on night two. And it is fucking spectacular so far.
Is it scary?
Yes, it is scary, but like in a doable way. It's weird. It's different though. Cause like,
what's the setup? Like, what is it, a city, or are you in a house, or?
You're in a house, and you're in like the backwoods of Louisiana. So it's kind of playing a little bit into like the sort of like hillbilly horror, like the scary Hicks. And
Fresno. I'm from Fresno. I know all about that.
But it also, of course, brings in levels of like regeneration and reanimation, just because it's a Resident Evil title. I haven't seen thus far how it relates to the rest of the Resident Evil series, but I got it on the PlayStation 4, and the first night, like the first hour and a half, I did in VR. Like, I don't know, like there's something about this game.
God, that would scare the shit out of me.
Like, there's something about this game. I mean, first off, it's just fucking effective anyway. But like in VR, it's so good. It's so scary. And
I saw this picture, just a still shot of this woman coming through a window, and like it looks like she's coming like the Ring right at the screen. And I'm like, oh fuck no.
Well, and
have you seen her?
I've seen someone who I think you might be talking about. Yes.
Oh god.
But like it's interesting because like we've been talking about it at work a lot, and it's that game where like when you're in VR, like if you're just playing it on the TV, you'd be like, oh sure, I'll walk into this dark room, no big deal. Blah. It's a video game.
Yeah.
But in VR, like literally, you stop and you hesitate, and you sort of have to push yourself through it to be like, okay, I'm gonna walk down this scary staircase now.
It's like you're actually in the freaking house.
Yeah, like, and the VR in it is so good. It's amazing, and also like so many VR titles are tech demos or smaller experiences, not full games.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to have like a full $60 AAA title that's 100% VR playable, like the whole game. And the first night was nerve-wracking to the point where after I was done, I had to stop and I had to play something else for a little bit.
Was Todd watching you?
He watched a little bit, and then he went to go watch Downton Abbey.
I love that segue.
Yeah, our entertainment is very different, apparently. Like
from Resident Evil to Downton Abbey.
Yes.
Oh,
and
can you imagine if they did a mashup?
Well, it wasn't like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, sort of.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yes, I think you're right.
But like, and so that was night 1, and then night 2, I decided that instead of the VR thing, I just wanted to see it in glorious, like full resolution with HDR and all that sort of stuff. So I played it just on the TV, and it was still creepy, but also like a little bit easier on my nerves.
Yeah.
And Todd actually ended up sitting and watching me for like the full like hour and a half, 2 hours, because it is a cool game to watch. Also because the whole thing's in first person. It has like a really great sensibility where like the horror feels very tailored for you to see, instead of like, oh yeah, you're in this creepy environment with creepy bad guys. Isn't that creepy? It's this like, instead it's a very personal horror, and there's something about it that's really,
do you play as like Jill or any of the old?
It is a new character.
Was it Chris?
Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine.
God, you know.
Well, then what? What was Claire's last name? And then what? Rebecca Chambers.
Like Chris will eventually be one of my hunks of the week because damn, I haven't thought about him in a while.
Well, yeah, last time I really thought about him was like Resident Evil 5, when it looked like he was smuggling cantaloupes under his skin in his arms.
Oh God, that's gross.
Yeah, his arms were a little unnatural in that game. But yeah, you play as a new character named Ethan, and like the premise is strange. Like your wife Mia went to go apparently on like a babysitting job or something for this house, and that was like, she's been missing for 3 years, and you suddenly get an email saying come get me, and now you're stuck in this hellish experience trying to save yourself and potentially Mia and escape a family of crazy people. It's kind of like an adult game of hide and seek a little bit. It's really, I don't know. It's I'm not all the way through it, obviously, so it's hard to totally speak authoritatively at this point, but
I don't know if I would want to play hide and seek in VR. Do you know what game would freak me the fuck out if they made it in VR? And it's an old game, but it always gives me the creeps when I think about it. It was on PlayStation 1, and I think it's called The Watchtower?
Clock Tower.
Clock Tower with the scissors?
Yes, Scissor Man.
Fuck.
Oh my God. No, it's fine. Whenever I think survival horror, like the first thing I go to is Alone in the Dark, and then Resident Evil, and then I think of the glory days from PlayStation 1 with fucking Clock Tower. That game
was nuts.
It's so good. Tell me more about that. Like, how did you discover Clock Tower? Because it's such a weird game from a small, but I guess like a developer a lot of people didn't talk about. And it's a strange game in that like it was one of the few games for the PlayStation 1 that supported the mouse for the PlayStation. You could play it with a mouse.
I had the mouse.
You had the mouse?
I had the mouse. It sucked. Because you couldn't do anything with it. I mean, except play Watchtower.
Clock Tower.
Clock Tower. Firewatch, Clock Watch, Tower. Back in the day, you could go to your local video store and rent games. And so I, did a probably 3-day rental on that baby and only played it once because it was too fucking scary.
Did you play by yourself?
With Travis.
Okay.
My brother. Yeah.
Well, it's like my Clock Tower experience, Blockbuster rented it. And we were like, oh yeah, this will be fun. It'll be horror, whatever. And we started playing it. We're like, what the hell is this? Like you click to run. It's real strange. Like I didn't have the mouse, but we did it just with the controller, but it's still a cursor on the screen that you use to move.
Yeah.
And like the
timing was off.
The voiceover is terrible.
The voiceover is terrible. You don't get any weapons. You can't defend yourself. You just hide in boxes and
lockers and under couches.
And then even when you're hiding and he can't find you, it still fucking scares you when he comes in.
And that was one of the first games I ever saw that like the character learned, because there was one time like we hid under the couch. Scissor Man came in, turned around and left, and we were like, okay, cool. Then a little bit later, we were running from him again. We went underneath the couch like, oh, we'll be safe here. He came in, turned around like he was gonna leave, and then he turned around, stabbed through the couch, and killed us. It was horrifying. And the game was so interesting, though, because, like, we...
oh, shit.
Because, like, we put, like, a good, like, 45 minutes into it, and it's all narrative, and it's really slow and really strange. And then all of a sudden, like, it's like they flip a switch, and the horror is on. And it's such a weird game, and it instantly hooked both of us.
Oh my God.
And like I actually have Clock Tower 2 for the PlayStation.
God, no. We should play that.
And then Clock Tower 3.
We should play it
for the PlayStation 2 is fucking scary as well.
Oh my gosh.
And actually it's funny, this random thing. Like I bought one of those Retron 5, knockoff systems that plays like Super Nintendo, Genesis, Nintendo, Famicom, Super Famicom cartridges using HDMI output. And I bought a Japanese SNES or Super Famicom cart of the original Clock Tower, because technically Clock Tower on PlayStation 1 was really Clock Tower 2. It was the sequel to a Japanese Super Nintendo title.
Oh, wow.
And so I bought it. I've not played it because it's not translated, but I still want to get through it because it sounds really cool.
God, it sounds awful.
I love that you knew about Clock Tower. Like, no one's played that game. Like, no one cares.
Another point and click game that scared the crap out of me, but I really loved it. Is more of it's story based. Also, was Phantasmagoria.
Oh my god! Well, the PC point and clicks. Oh,
so good.
Did you play Phantasmagoria?
The Beast Within.
Oh, the Gabriel Knight series is the Beast Within was like the crowning moment of that series. Yeah. Because the first one was okay. The book of the first one's really good. She made a novelization of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's good. Sins of the Fathers, the book, is better than the game. But The Beast Within, that was like a well-performed and good fucking game.
And even the final battle, where's the maze?
Yep.
That was great, too.
You have to close the doors with your nose as you're playing as a wolf.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. For those gamers that really were looking forward to playing that game from 1995.
Yeah. I tried to play Phantasmagoria about 5 years ago because I have the discs. And it's so sad.
I downloaded it on Good Old Games recently.
It looks like click art people on this like painted background.
Like the compression they did on the video on that is a nightmare. Oh. And then and of course it's all
the voice acting is
real bad green screen.
Abysmal.
Well, and did you play Phantasmagoria 2?
No, but I hear that's like based on like it's a sexual adventure or something like that.
It's fucking awful. Let's just go on the record and say that it's terrible.
That's why I never played it, because back in the day I used to read a lot of those PC magazines.
PC Gamer and such?
Yeah, and I just got such awful reviews. I was like, I don't want to ruin the first one because I loved it so much that I'll play this shit.
And like Phantasmagoria 1, especially it wasn't the best thing that Roberta Williams ever made, but there was nothing else like it. And it was good enough.
I got that at the Costco.
I got mine at Costco. I used to go to Costco and paw all the big giant CD-ROM titles.
Yeah.
And read the system requirements on the bottoms of all of them because my computer was barely running shit at the time.
I can play this.
And it was like 7 discs. It blew my mind that a game, of course, that was like CDs, like that's the size of like one DVD.
Right.
But like the fact that it was on so many discs, it was just staggering. And then I played Phantasmagoria 2. And the big thing that game had going for it was that at the end of chapter 1 or at the end of disc 1, a softcore or like a Skinamax actress who was in it showed her boobs, and that was very, very, very it was impressive for a video game at the time.
Yeah.
One thing I remember about that game, though, is it was interesting. By the time it was done, it dabbled in the idea that your protagonist might be bisexual or maybe gay. And he had like a little bit of
he's pansexual, probably. He went all the way.
All the way. He was there. By the time it was done, like you realize maybe he's not even who you think he is.
Oh shit.
But he had like a little bit of tension, maybe a thing with Trevor, his gay coworker, and also obviously he was dating Jocelyn, whose breast we saw.
Mr. Grey of he just kind of a domineering character.
Oh no, he was like a bookish nerdy fellow named Craig.
The submissive one.
Yes, actually, and there is a scene where one of his coworkers goes kind of dominatrix style, like whippy on him.
Oh my god.
Like, it was a really terrible game, but it was just kind of pushing the boundaries of what you'd seen in games at that point, and that was kind of interesting. But oh man, I played it with a walkthrough because I just wanted to see what it had to offer, and then never touched it again. It's terrible.
Ugh, 50 Shades Magoria. No, thank you. Well, currently I'm playing Titanfall 2.
So yeah, I remember you said that you had the code, but you hadn't even downloaded it last time we talked.
Yeah, I was wondering if the code actually worked. And so, sure enough, that thing said, your title's ready to download. I was like, what?
Thank you, Twitch viewer.
Real? Thank you. And so, yeah, I played it. It's, it's the sequel to the first one. So you have the mechs, and they're called Titans. And what happens in this one is you become bound to the Titan's former owner, who used to be your superior in like the army.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Captain Lastimosa is the character's name.
How do you know that?
Because I played Titanfall 2.
You played it?
Yeah, I finished it last year.
Oh, I didn't know you played it.
Yeah.
Well, then how do you even remember that name?
Well, Lastimosa is the last name of one of their, I want to say like one of their artists at Respawn.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I met him when I was working on Titanfall 1's campaign.
Oh, so you have a personal connection.
I do. I have a personal connection to that franchise. I have friends at Respawn, and I've worked on Titanfall 1's campaign and on some of Titanfall 2's campaign.
Oh, yeah. One of my friends / acquaintances / husband of a friend of mine, he is one of their environmental artists, like a lead environmental artist for Titanfall.
Nice.
Yeah, so he did the first one and he did this one too. So...
Yeah. So you're bonded with a
I'm bonded too.
7274.
Oh, yes. But I finally got to play it. And I remember he actually sent me the beta code back in the day when it was just like...
the multiplayer stress test.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. But I didn't play it.
So now that you're playing Titanfall, are you doing the multiplayer at all? Or are you just doing single player?
I'm doing story mode right now because I wanted to get familiarized. And it's cool. It's fast paced. I thought it was going to be slower, but it's not as fast as Doom.
No, it's not as fast as Doom.
It is faster than I expected.
Well, and it has a different type of nimble quality to it because there's the wall running. It's kind of...
Right.
It kind of pulls off what Mirror's Edge tried to do a little better than Mirror's Edge did.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a Mirror's Edge fan, but Titanfall's...
They do the wall running in Modern Warfare also.
I have not played a Call of Duty title all the way through ever.
Yeah. It's like the new thing in games is to have the wall run.
Well, it seems like Titanfall 1 really kind of like set the tone of what people expect from shooters. Like you have this level of mobility, and now to take it away just feels like you're taking a step backward.
Gotcha.
Did you play Saints Row 4?
No.
It's hilarious and ridiculous.
I watched House play it. Yeah, where you can
like fly in it. Like, and it's weird playing an open...
You create your custom characters, and they could be silly and...
Well, yeah, but you like in that game, you're pretty much like in the Matrix, sort of, and so you have like the ability of like special powers. Yeah. So you can like jump over buildings, and you can fly and run really fast. And it was so interesting playing it because as I played it, I was like, I don't know if I can play an open world game where I would ever have to drive a car ever again because like it feels like such a waste of time.
You could just get anywhere. Well, that's why they have those points now where you just go inside and you can warp to any place on the map, basically.
Yeah, fast travel stuff.
Yeah. That makes things much more easy time-wise. Yeah.
So how far are you into Titanfall 2's story?
I just beat, I think, the second, if you call it a boss battle. Yeah, the boss battle.
They have boss battles.
The girl, Sona, or whatever her name is.
I don't know what her name was, but yeah.
She had the sword and...
Oh, she's the Ronin Titan. Yeah.
Yeah. She was tough.
Yeah.
And then cool. Then I got stuck in this like... Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because I played her after there was that really cool level where it's kind of making these suburban houses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like a manufacturing company that puts these weird, crazy, like model houses together, and then they have the dummies sitting in there, and
that's a really
super creepy.
Like some of the level,
super cool.
Some of the level design in Titanfall 2 is really good.
Yeah, but it's on several planes, so it's not just like a linear, like I don't know how you would.
Shit rotates. Yeah, it
rotates. So you're all over the map. It's like you're actually in this world. So it's really cool. That would be a cool game in VR.
Well, it's like
that'd get so sick probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like there's gonna be some more stuff that kind of plays with you a little bit. Like there's some stuff in that plays with time that's really cool. But yeah, that level was really impressive. Like riding along on that assembly line as like a house builds around you.
Yeah, you slowly put together the story, and then once the boss battle comes, like literally the whole story kind of envelops you, and you play one of the boss rounds inside this dystopian suburban neighborhood.
Well, because that's the whole like the sort of hexagon kind of thing where like it's all like projected kind of almost.
Yeah,
that was
so dope.
There's a lot of really striking moments in that game.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you're playing
now I'm
that.
doing the time travel though.
That's the level most people talk about when they talk about Titanfall 2's campaign.
I think I'm almost through it actually. Yeah, I've been doing I've been playing the time shifting for a while now.
You're pretty close to the end of the game, to be honest. Like
what? I just started it. I've only had one sitting.
The campaign is fairly short. I want to say. I mean, I think it's probably about 5 hours.
You know, I am just that skilled as a gamer that I could just blast right through it.
Well, and then you got to do the multiplayer, which there are some crazy people on that multiplayer thing. Like it's weird. Like the multiplayer has kind of a little bit of a, I want to say a high barrier of entry, but like there's certainly a defined line between like me and everyone else.
Yeah, I know that from Uncharted. Like playing the game is a breeze. Playing multiplayer is like fuck my life.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that put a lot more time into it than I'm willing to.
Right. Yeah. But if I go with what my Titan tells me, and he keeps saying I'm doing amazing, I'm improving.
See, BT's
so
there to help.
Be good.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
BT. He's so cute. He's like your little friend.
I do like that it gives you the options to sort of have the branching conversations with him.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of fun whenever you have a choice. If you want to be like sarcastic or literal with him. Like that was kind of
he
a
always
fun...
clocks you too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing.
He's like a gay best friend.
Did you finish Doom?
Not yet. I haven't gone back to Doom because I got back on Uncharted 4 multiplayer, and then I started Titanfall 2.
Sort of back burner.
And then some Rocket League in there.
I feel like such a monster because I've not given Rocket League enough time. It's a blast. Like, the first time I ever played it was at a tournament. It was happening at a party. It was not like a full-on, like, you know,
I was gonna say,
pro thing. It was at a party where, like, they had a bunch of setups of Rocket League. And so I grabbed a drink at the party, went up, and, like, there was an empty seat. They're like, hey, do you want to play? I was like, sure, I have no idea what I'm doing. And after, like, a couple of really, like, easy goals that I failed to protect, all of a sudden, like, I scored like 4 times, and I was like, oh, this game makes total sense. Like, and I know why people love it as much as they do.
And there's skill involved. It's not just like a little, like, you know, pass and play. It's there's angles and
like once you figure out your style,
special powers and all sorts of stuff they put in the new one.
Well, and I haven't played it since they've added any new arenas. I played it almost exactly a year ago.
The new arenas are really fucking beautiful too. They're designed very well, and I like the way they changed rather than just like a regular soccer field type arena. Now they have barriers in between, and there's all sorts of things going on. There's, you know, different levels. It's by level, and
cool.
Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, and then they give you like Mario Kart powers, so you could become a whirlwind, and you could use like a magnetic plunger to grab the ball, or like
are these all from free updates, or are these DLC that you have to buy?
This is the newest version.
Okay, so just a patch.
I think a patch. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like really
because I didn't download anything else, so it just automatically downloads. So it must be just a patch. Yeah.
Nice.
But it's cool.
I'll have to make sure that's actually on my system. I don't think I like in my party folder, because I love that you can make folders on your PS4 now. Mm-hmm. My party folder is like 90% Jackbox games. Oh yeah. And then there's a
Jackbox is cool.
I love it so much. And then there's a game in there called Overcooked that is fantastic.
Overcooked? Mm-hmm. What's that?
Did you ever play Diner Dash? It's kind of like so like in Overcooked, you play as chefs, and like let's say you have to make soup. Yeah. An order will show up on the top of the screen, and like if you want to make onion soup, you have to grab 3 onions from the onion bin, and you have to chop them, and you can only chop 1 onion at a time.
Is it like that game like where you have the doctor and your hands are like all wobbly blobs?
No, it's not like Surgeon Simulator, thank God. The controls in this are very tight.
That gives me anxiety.
But like it's an overhead view. It's like your character's very small, and like you grab like say an onion, you chop it, and then you put it in a pot, and you have to do that like 3 times, and then the pot, once it's done cooking, you have soup, put it in a bowl, and then you serve it. And you do that before the ticket is up. The sooner you do it, the bigger your tip is. And then like eventually like the types of soup will change, and like then you start doing like tomato soup as well. And then like eventually like you don't have any clean plates, so you have to start getting the plates that are dirty and clean them and like do those things. And then eventually start making burgers, which like to construct those you need obviously a bun. You have to chop the meat, cook the meat, chop the tomato, chop the lettuce, and like some burgers just have lettuce on them, and like you have to read the tickets, make the stuff. Everything becomes multi-step projects.
Is it very rushed, or is it more zen?
It's no. It's very rushed. Okay. It's very frantic.
Frantic.
And like, to be honest, I played it as a single player thing once just to sort of try it out, and it's not very good. But I mean, it's fine. It's not as fun. My main experience with Overcooked is playing it as 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
And it gets crazy. You're just yelling at each other, trying to, because everyone's like, "Oh, I'll chop it. Can you get it cooked? Like, someone serve this." Like, it's all just back and forth.
That sounds cool.
And
it's like an actual kitchen.
Exactly. And like the way we've been playing it is me and 3 coworkers have been playing it. And so it's a matter of like, all right, we have to work as a team every day. Can we do this now? This stupid, stressful cooking game.
Yeah.
And like keep it together. And it's really fun.
That's one occupation I don't think I've ever could do is food service. People are so particular about their food. Like Starbucks alone, and all you're doing is serving drinks and coffee.
The fact that people designate what degree they want their coffee to be is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want them to scorch me like that McDonald's story.
But when you say like, "Oh yeah, I want, my latte 112 degrees."
Right.
Like, I'm sorry.
It's a little excessive.
If it's 115, you can deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's 3 degrees.
You'll feel the difference.
Meanwhile, like, I take my coffee black.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I'll take coffee, please. A large coffee.
Yeah, no sugar, no nothing, just black.
Yeah.
Me too. Good.
A simple man, simple tastes.
So who's your video game crush of the week?
Oh, God. Well, right now, I'm only playing Resident Evil, and let me tell you, no one in there is crush-worthy.
In Resident Evil?
Everyone's kind of hideous and terrifying.
My
character might be super hot. I don't know.
You don't know what it
it's
looks like?
first-person
There's
game.
No mirrors or anything?
He has nice hands. That's all I can see.
That's cute.
Yeah,
he takes care of his hands.
He has a good voice. He said some funny things, but I'd say no one crush-worthy unless I'm into like, people that are sometimes missing half their heads or whatever,
Interesting.
How's about you? Anyone catching your eye?
Mine is Krem from Dragon Age Inquisition.
I have not played that game.
Oh my God.
I know.
It's
like
so good. Well, depends on who you ask. I think it's amazing.
The only BioWare stuff I've played are the Mass Effect games.
Really?
Yeah.
In the new Mass Effect, I just found out the male character is voiced by this guy who does Nathan Drake's voice.
By Nolan North?
Nolan North, yeah. So hot. Anyway.
He has a good voice.
Yeah. Ooh. And he's cute too.
Oh, but that new Mass Effect Andromeda trailer that dropped today.
Yeah. Trailer 2.
Oh my God.
So good.
Because I didn't love trailer 1, but I was still on board because I know I'm going to like the game.
Yeah. The new villain looks pretty fucking dope.
Yes.
He looks like that huge monster from Fantasia with the wings.
Oh, the guy from Night on Bald Mountain?
Yes.
Yeah. Does he have a name?
Yeah, he has a name, and I can't think of it.
Well, it's weird because, he reminded me a little bit of, like, that's actually a great parallel for him, but also he reminded me of the...
Thou shalt not pass!
He reminded me of the... a little bit of like oh Jesus. He's somebody that you collect. He was a DLC character, I think, from Mass Effect 2. I could be blurring them all together, though. I really shouldn't have even started this story because I really have no facts to back it up.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it had wings, this character?
No.
But no,
like, similar face, like, or similar, like, kind of, where his face looks almost like it's made of, like, just bone and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like a really broad,
he was a mercenary or something.
Yes, the mercenary character.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not crazy. And
wow.
It's funny, on the Mass Effect thing, just yesterday, I just bought the 4 LP set of the soundtrack to Mass Effect 1 through 3.
Beautiful.
I'm very excited.
Music.
I'm really excited.
That's one thing I need to add to my Spotify. Dragon Age Inquisition has great music.
I think I got like the day 1 edition or that, or like the first pressing, which is the limited edition or whatever, that came with like the soundtrack download. So I think I downloaded the soundtrack. I just never played the game.
It's really good, the soundtrack. The game's good. I liked it. I mean, I have friends who played it and they thought it was ridiculous because they're like, why would these people be following you? You're like, just come from nowhere. It makes sense because you're the only one who has this certain power that people believe is the only way to destroy these demons. I mean, that's good enough reason for me. You got the power, let's get to it.
Well, and I've heard enough about that game to like know that like when I play it, I know like a lot of people had beefs with it because they didn't leave the first zone. They wanted to do like all the side quests in the hinterlands.
Oh, see, I did that.
And a lot of people got burned out on that
The hinterlands are huge.
Yeah, and so a lot of people say,
there's a lot of quests in there.
Just leave the hinterlands, maybe come back, but like continue on with the game. It is better once you get out of there anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I keep hearing, and I haven't even installed it because I'm just like, I don't know.
It's good.
It seems like such a undertaking.
There's some characters in there that are amazing, so I think you should do it.
But yeah, like...
And you can, it's kind of like Mass Effect Andromeda, where you can like mate with, you can fall in love and you can find some hotties. And
I know there's a character that everyone has a crush on, that big guy with the horns.
Oh, right. Well, he's actually the Kunari warrior, and this is a good segue to Krem. He's Krem's kind of like captain.
Oh, okay.
And Krem is the first transgender man in a video game.
Oh, is Krem playable, or like can he...
He's not playable, and he's not even, you can't even flirt with him.
Okay.
But he has a good story, and hopefully they'll bring him back in the next one as, a character you can have on your team. The writer of the character consulted with genderqueer people to make sure that they didn't fuck up anywhere.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty much the main problem with like Hollywood and these storylines, that they don't have any queer people or trans people especially to help them write the characters. So they're all over the place and it doesn't make sense, and it's very offensive.
Yeah, the representation is really not... researched.
Hopefully we'll see more trans representation in the future.
Well, I know Ubisoft's done it twice now.
Yeah.
Because like in Watch Dogs 2, there's a pretty badass trans woman in it.
Really? I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out.
She is I want to say a government official of some sort.
Wow.
And she is... Like she's non-playable, but she's a quest giver, and
okay, that's kind of Ned Weiner in Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Exactly.
Syndicate.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's the other one that in Syndicate. There's Ned.
But that was a few years ago. Also unplayable.
But
I want a playable trans character.
Yeah, it was just it was actually cool that Ned was there, and like no one, like people talked about it, but it wasn't like a big deal, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like, and here's this character,
you just
and
accept him for who he is. Yeah, I like that too.
They also were one
and
of
hopefully in Andromeda there's going to be. Do you know of one?
No, I don't know anything specifically, but I mean I know that they ruffled some feathers when they had the same-sex relationships, even in Mass Effect. One even had them.
Yeah, one. I don't know about one. I never played it, but two did for certain.
Because like I don't know if you could have a full-on like relationship in one that was gay, but you could take advantage of. I want to say you could. I forgot what race Liara is.
Oh my gosh!
But like you could. I want to say there was somebody there that you could sort of have like a little bit of a thing with or something, or it was implied.
Asari.
She's an Asari. There we go. Like I want to say.
Dope.
I want to say Sony. Like they're just like to Sony, but like I think.
Oh, that's her last name.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not her race. That's her last name. Okay.
Sony.
Okay, because I was like, what the... but like BioWare's always sort of been leading the charge in a lot of representation stuff in video games that no one else will do.
Yeah, I think that actually the Asari are one of the cooler alien species that you see in video games. They're very human-like, but I don't know, aerodynamic.
I guess one of my favorite races, aside from the Krogan, of course, in Mass Effect, and I can't even tell you what they're named, but the kind that they speak completely monotone and they declare their emotion as part of their sentence. They're like, pleasantly surprised. Oh, there you are. I love them.
Yes, but they're not playable. They're just in like the Citadel,
but they're
doing,
fucking hilarious.
Government work.
Exactly. Pretty much, they are like the DMV employee who has to announce how they feel and then say what they're going to say.
Yeah, they're the sloth from Zootopia.
Pretty much.
Ha ha ha. Cute. I love it.
Yeah, and then also this week there was a trailer for Prey that came out. Did you see that?
Nope.
Oh my god.
It's a sequel?
It's weird. It's not Prey 2 because Prey 2 was canceled. It's sort of a reboot, kind of, gotcha. I guess. But it's not the same story at all from Prey 1 or Prey the original.
Yeah.
But it looks fucking gorgeous, and the action looks really solid, and it's published by Bethesda, so I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's going to be as fast as
I doubt it'll be as fast as Doom. I doubt it, but you never know. That comes out May 5th. Like,
yeah. Oh, I just saw another playthrough of the new Legend of Zelda. I didn't realize that there are rumors that you can play as Zelda.
Oh, really? But yeah, like I know that a lot of people were thinking that Zelda might be playable in this. I'm kind of curious if she will be.
But you have to watch this trailer.
Because I know for Hyrule Warriors, that's when they introduced female Link, and her name is Linkle, and she looks basically like just like Link, but with
But Zelda looks like Link.
Yeah, they always kind of look really similar, which is a little weird.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited about Breath of the Wild. But that is the game where I know that Todd and I will be competing to play it.
Yeah, it's not only beautiful, but it looks a little difficult, which is good.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Because, I haven't really committed to a Legend of Zelda game since The Wind Waker.
I hear Majora, the Mask one. Majora's Mask is really good, and I've never played that one, but that seems to be the favorite, because every time I go to a con, there's like at least 3 Majoras walking around.
I think Majora's Mask is a cult
person.
It's a cult favorite, but like it's a game where in the game story, I think in 48 hours, the moon's going to crush the world. And so you have to keep going and like making progress and then resetting the clock. Todd and I bought it for the 3DS, and I think we never even unwrapped it. Like, I'm glad we have it, but I don't know if we'll ever find the time to do it.
Yeah, that's like Diablo 3. I have it, never unwrapped it.
Okay, that feels like a thing that we should be playing together, probably.
But I have it on the PS3.
Oh.
My brother got it for me, and like a month before I got my PS4, which was years ago now. But
yeah, because I have it on.
They should have a way that you can upgrade your 3 to a 3 PS4 without having to pay full price.
Yeah, because they didn't do an upgrade thing, but they did a thing where you could transfer your character. I think that's as far as they pushed it.
I don't even have a character.
Well, it's a bummer because the Reaper of Souls edition, I want to say, is still $60. That is still a full price title, and it's like a year and a half old.
Yeah, I still want to play it. It still looks good.
I've dabbled a little bit. Unfortunately, my guy looks like a emo rock band guy, which makes me want to punch him.
I just finished a graphic novel that has a lot of gore in it. Tank Girl, the new one.
Yes,
it's so good.
Yeah, good.
I'm obsessed with Tank Girl. I've loved it ever since like the 90s, and I love the movie with Lori Petty, but I know most people hate it. But I think it's great.
I've actually never seen that movie, but
it's a cult favorite.
But I don't have any real connection to the comic either, so I'm completely on the outside of the Tank Girl thing. All I can tell you is that Bjork's "Army of Me" is on the soundtrack.
Yes, I have the soundtrack, and it's very good. You got some Courtney Love on the soundtrack, some Portishead.
What song by Portishead?
It's one of their more famous songs.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a exclusive to the soundtrack kind of.
I don't think
jam.
so. I think it's been around. But what's great, this one's put out by one of the original creators, Alan Martin, and then he teamed with Brett Parson, and it's for Titan Comics. So it's really good. It's a new twist, and it's just as insane as the originals. And this is a 3-part series, and I've only read the first one. The second one, Gold, is out April 25th, around there.
Shit, Tank Girl was originally designed by Jamie Hewlett?
Yeah.
Jamie Hewlett, of course, I know from Gorillaz.
Oh, yeah.
That's the main thing. Oh, I know. I had no idea, but even just looking,
he didn't do this one though.
But I'm thumbing through it though, and even then, 21st Century Tank Girl, Jamie Hewlett returns, is leaping back on the Tank Girl wagon, reteaming with series co-creator to do it for a whole new take.
Yeah,
there's another Tank Girl series that Jamie Hewlett did.
It's a fucked up comic. It's like all over the map. The story makes almost 100% zero sense, but that's okay. That's why I love it. It's just like a bombastic, crazy fuckfest.
Well, and Titan, the comic company, they do a lot of the licensed stuff, right? I think they do the Dark Souls comic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think they do, and I think they do Assassin's Creed and Deus Ex. I think they do a lot of the video gamey and movie tie-in kind of stuff. I think they do. Yeah, I want to say a lot of movies that do 4-episode comic series. I think those are all through Titan. I could be wrong.
Well, it's kind of weird because this has been a Titan week for me. I played Titanfall 2. I finished Tank Girl published by Titan Comics, and I also started Attack on Titan.
Oh,
the anime series, and that is creepy as shit.
Well, next step is you need to start playing
the film.
You start playing Overwatch, which I believe Overwatch was from was an attempt to make another game or something from Blizzard that was codenamed Titan.
Oh my god! I have Overwatch.
You should be playing it more. Titan's a popular word right now.
It's really up and coming. That's the new thing.
Yes, I'm really bad about when I go, because like I have a pull list at a comic shop in Culver City, and I like going there. And whenever I go there, though, they're always like, "Oh, it's a like say $15 minimum for a credit card purchase." Let's just say, and I never have cash. I fucking hate it. And so like my pull list, I want to say is like $12. So I'm like, all right, well, I need to buy like an issue of something or like one other thing. And then I like wander over and I buy like, oh, volume 1 of the Sandman Compendium, $80.
Okay.
So yeah,
you are an overspender.
I'm terrible. Like,
I don't buy the $80 ones, but Tank Girl was actually an add-on to. I was getting some extra gifts for Travis for Christmas, and I found The Witches, which is scary as fuck.
Like the Roald doll, The Witches?
No, it's WYTCHES.
Okay.
And it's creepy. Even Stephen King said this is the scariest thing I've ever read. It's really weird and demented.
It's like,
and
I've been buying all those Stephen King Dark Tower compendiums too, like those $150
When
things.
does that TV show come out?
I think it's gonna be a movie instead, right? I don't know. Either way, I'm fucking excited.
I thought it was like a Game of Thrones thing they were doing.
They were talking about doing a movie for a series for a long time, and I think at this point it's just gonna be a movie. When the Dark Tower 5 came out, in like at the beginning of the book where it says like, also by Stephen King, and it lists all the names of his books, and it puts all the ones that are Dark Tower related in bold. And I want to say it's like maybe 40-50% of his books have some sort of reference to them, like The Stand, Insomnia, Salem's Lot, like a lot of things.
What about
all tie into
Pet Sematary?
I don't think Pet Sematary is related.
That was the scariest movie. That's still my number one scary movie on my list.
And I love that is actually a horror movie that was directed by a woman. It's really actually very cool to see such an like aggressively scary movie.
Yeah, it's so well put together.
Something that doesn't seem very feminine at all. Like, not to totally play into gender roles, but like it is,
which you just did.
I know.
No, but especially in the 80s, to give a woman that sort of power to do a Stephen King,
do a fucked up movie like that. Like, that is.
It's amazing how there aren't more women directors who are given that spotlight, because typically their movies do way better than the men's movies. I mean, look at Frozen, the highest grossing Disney movie ever, and it was like the first female director for an animated feature ever from them.
Yeah.
And look at Wonder Woman's going to be like probably the best DC movie to come out.
I'm very excited about that.
So, I mean, I think it's time to let the men step aside and have the women step forward.
Well, and even then, like the because like there's another one that was directed by a woman that was really great, or not a horror movie, but American Psycho. Although that's a movie, though, that I feel like if it wasn't directed by a woman, just because of all the violence towards women, I do feel like maybe the fact that that was directed by a woman was probably very good to diffuse a little bit of that sort of gender tension that movie could have generated, because that character hates women, and it was definitely I think a concern probably that they had. But yeah, like Pet Sematary, that's a great movie.
Yeah, Aunt Zelda scared me for years.
Aunt Zelda
she still scares me.
Yo, that is terrifying.
And your back will look just like mine. I'm like, no, Aunt Zelda, please, not today or ever.
On that lovely note,
yeah,
let's just end it on Aunt Zelda.
Oh. All right.
If any of our listeners out there want to find us on the interwebs, where can they find you, madam?
On my Twitter and my Instagram, you can find me at Cetine the Dream, CETINETHEDREAM. And on Twitch, you could find me at Cetine, just my first name, CETINE.
That's awesome that that's the name you're able to get for Twitch.
I know, right?
That's really cool.
So good. Well, if you look up Cetine on Google, all you get is pictures of me or this weird like water hole in the ground in like Israel or somewhere. I don't know what it is, but
that's kind of awesome and a very strange thing to share the spotlight with.
Yeah.
All right, then. On the interwebs for me, you can find me, Rob, at Fast Danger on Twitter and Mr. Gladstone. Mr. is spelled out, so it's Mister Gladstone on Instagram and on Twitch as well. And I'm trying to be better about doing more streams, and maybe we can start scheduling some streams or something.
Yeah, we should jump together. The scary ones.
Yeah.
Fucking watchtower, clock tower.
There you go.
Can't get it together.
And then, of course, you can find the podcast at, you know all the addresses for these, right? Because I'm still learning them.
Yeah, on Twitter, on Instagram, at bitdiff, so BITDIFF podcast, PODCAST. And if you want to email us, you could also email us at bitdiffpodcast@gmail.com.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So there you have it. Hit us up on the interwebs. Let us know that you're out there.
Yeah, and find us on the twits.
Yeah, on the twits.
I love twits. Well, have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Ciao-sies.
Bye.